Hey everybody, and welcome to another MOTUfigures.com video spotlight. This time on the original Skeletor. We're cranking right through these, man. We're moving pretty fast.
Yeah.
You know? We didn't think we'd be able to get this one in on time because we got Marlena coming this weekend. We're going to do the Marlena one as soon as she shows up over the weekend. But we're getting the Skeletor done. We're going to have him done, and then we'll jump into Marlena, and then we'll jump back into the catch-up and get Stratos done after that. But today we're looking at Skeletor. Now there are two versions of this figure. There's the first issue version with the open left hand. It's really wide open so that you can do this two-handed hold on the Havoc staff. Or there's the reissue version with the more tightened left hand. Now there were supposedly some kind of changes in the face paint too between the two versions. But I don't really see a difference in the one that I have. I saw some major differences with some of the ones people got from He-Man.org. There were some really rough, way too much green, or made to, like a really light yellow wash. It was really funky. Mine looks fine. It looks the same as on both. So I can't really say that that's a definitive change. You know, I think it's more of a production, variance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the two major variations. But I mean, just speaking of the figure itself, it's an update on the original Skeletor. So he's got the bare feet, because the first versions of Skeletor in the original line only had the purple coverings over the top portion and left the feet exposed. So he's got the exposed feet. He's got loincloth thing. He's got the armor. He's a nice figure. I really like him. There's a couple of minor things that I have little quibbles with. I understand why they did this, but the hood on his head kind of looks bonnet-ish, because it doesn't come down and meet. But, again, this is an update of the original line. So, on the original figure, you could see his neck when you put the armor on. So, I don't mind so much since it's an update of the original thing. But at the same time, it does look a little strange from certain angles. But if you think that Skeletor, that's the way he looks, that's the way he's supposed to be, then you just gotta deal with that, you know. I am looking forward to having that Alcala head that's gonna come with Demo Man. Do you know about that?
Yeah, I knew about that.
I can't wait for that. The exposed feet are a little strange sometimes, but again, that's Skeletor's look. It's playing off the original look of the character with those bare feet and the bonnet thing that comes around his head. So it's what you should expect for this figure, since it's an updated original figure. As for which one's better, the reissue or the original version, what do you think? Do you like the open hand or the closed hand?
Original.
You like the more open hand? It is really cool to get him in this stance, where he's gripping the Havoc staff like that. Yeah. That's really neat. Did we talk about what accessory he comes with? No. I don't know if we did. But he comes with a Havoc staff, a full sword, and a half-power sword. If we already said that, then sorry, you get to hear it twice. This is just like He-Man. You have to have a regular Skeletor.
Yeah.
I mean, we've already gone over this with He-Man. They're the two most essential figures in the line.
Are they still up on He-Man.org?
They're still on there. No, not He-Man.org. Matty Collector.
Oh.
We love He-Man.org, but no, Matty Collector's where you buy the figures.
Oh. Are they still up?
They're still up. I think that the All-Star sale is supposed to last till August 15th.
I did not expect that they would still be up. I expected
they're still up, man.
Sold out.
No, they're still up, which is good. They should still be up. Yeah. They should always be up. Let's read his bio, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the figure. Now, between the reissue and the regular, there were some changes to this bio, and I've got them both in front of me, and I'm going to have to try and remember what's different here.
I can see something different right off the bat.
Being Demo Man. Well, yeah, let's see. It was the addition of the Demo Man name. Okay, so here's the first version of the bio. Mortally wounded in battle with his half-brother Captain Randor, Keldor turned to his dark arts master Hordak to save his life. Hordak merged Keldor with an extra-dimensional being, changing him forever into Skeletor, overlord of evil. He gathered together many of Eternia's greatest outcasts and evil warriors in his quest to gain entry into Castle Grayskull and obtain what he believes is the universe's ultimate power source. When they reissued him, they added in, merging Keldor with the extra-dimensional being Demo Man from Despondos. So they've named that dimensional being after... Well, hang on just one second. The Demo Man character was one of the original prototype characters. There was Vicor and Demo Man. So they're introducing him into the MOTU Classic storyline. What were you going to say?
Well, I realized right off the bat that that's 2000s. It takes place from the 2000s cartoon because Captain Keldor, he turns
Captain Randor, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, see, in the original mini-comics, they talked about Randor and Keldor and being brothers and things like that, but they never... It kind of stopped in the mini-comics. They introduced the concept of Randor's brother Keldor, but as a kid we never got to find out more because they didn't continue the story. But it was intended for Keldor to be Randor's brother in the original line, and then they expanded on that in the 2000s. So that is elements of 2000s here. They're definitely playing off the 2000s storyline. They're trying to tie in also the original storyline of Skeletor being this extra-dimensional being that came through to Eternia by tying in Demo Man as the extra-dimensional being that they merge Keldor with. I don't really like that. You know, when you watch the 2000s cartoon, I guess you can sort of see that when he gets hurt and he goes to Hordak and Hordak saves him, but you don't really know that that's what's going on, and it's probably not really what was going on in the 2000s cartoon. Who knows? But I always liked the fact of Skeletor and Keldor just being a bad guy and it not needing the addition of Demo Man to really turn him into Skeletor.
Yeah.
I really don't like that. I like Keldor making his own choices and being the bad guy just to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
You know, we don't need Demo Man. Although I am excited about the Demo Man figure. I think he looks fantastic. I like Demo Man. What's that?
That's when you have to show me still.
Yeah, Demo Man looks awesome. And he comes with a head that looks like this. This Skeletor head here.
Yeah.
The Alfredo Alcala artwork. So, I don't really like this bio as much, because I'm not a huge fan of the merging with Demo Man. I don't mind Demo Man as a separate character. I just don't like Keldor needing something to become Skeletor. It's just, his face gets burned off and he's still Keldor inside, but maybe this pushes him over the edge a little bit and he takes the name Skeletor.
I like how they did in the filmation. They didn't even mention Keldor or anything
Yeah,
like
they
that.
didn't. There was no mention of Keldor in the filmation. It was just Skeletor's just a bad guy.
Yeah.
Sometimes bad guys can just be bad guys. It's like the whole Darth Vader thing. Darth Vader was so much cooler in the original trilogy before I knew about the whole Anakin thing in the prequel trilogy. Vader, to me, is no longer as intimidating as he was before, when you know he used to be this innocent guy. And we're not saying that Keldor is innocent, but as the bios moved on and on and on, it's making it seem more like Keldor's kind of the hurt party, and he kind of gets pushed into doing things a certain way, and then the whole merging with Demo Man makes him a true villain. I don't like that. Let's have bad guys just to be bad guys. So that's the problems with the bio. As for the figure, I have really, other than the little tiny little things I said before, I don't really have any complaints about this figure. I think he's awesome. He's a must-have in the line, especially when you get that extra Alcala head and throw that on this body. I can't wait to see what it looks like. I'm kind of surprised that we haven't seen maybe a change in this figure to have the full purple boots. Because, you know, the Battle Armor figure like you've got, Battle Armor Skeletor?
Yeah.
What are you doing over there? You're like squirming. You alright?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's got the full purple boots.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm surprised we haven't seen this re-release with those full purple boots yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like in a reissue or something like that. It's kind of strange. Seems like a perfect opportunity and an easy thing to do. What are your thoughts on this?
I like it.
You like him?
Yeah.
You don't have this version of Skeletor yet. You have the DC pack one again, right?
Mm-hmm. And I have Battle Armor.
You have Battle Armor in that one. Well, I mean, the DC one is great. I actually prefer the DC one to this one. I like the full. Yeah, I like the full yellow face, and I like the
See, I switched heads with you.
You did switch heads with me. That's right. You traded me heads because you wanted the green head. You prefer the green head. I prefer the yellow head. That's gonna be a moot point once that Alcala head hits. So that's about it for this figure. You've got a lot of choices with Skeletors. It's all a matter of personal preference. If you like the green shading, then you've got to get this one. If you don't like the green shading and you don't care about that kind of thing and you just want a Skeletor, then you might want to go to your Toys R Us and just pick up one of those packs because I'm sure they're there. They're everywhere.
Or if you don't care about the green and you want a really cool one, get that one. If you don't care about the shading of green or
Well, this one's got the green.
Yeah, if they don't care about it, like, if they don't care what they get or anything, just get that one.
Why do you say that?
Because it's cooler and it comes with more accessories.
That's true. You bring up a good point. It does have more accessories. You get both the full sword and the half sword, and you get the staff. And he is on Matty Collector right now. As of this taping of this video, he is on Matty Collector. So it'd probably be better off to get this one than it would be the Toys R Us one. You're right. Because it has more accessories.
Because you don't have to drive anywhere to get a Matty Collector's toy.
Yeah, exactly. And if it's still available on August 15th, which, given their track record, they might pull those All-Star items before that sale goes up. For some reason, they have this fascination with pulling stuff off the site when new stuff comes on so that you can't combine shipping, which makes no sense to me. Yeah. You're costing yourself sales. Anyway, if you can get this one, get this one. Blaze is totally right. It comes with more accessories. You should probably get this one. You get a Havoc staff, you get the half sword and the full sword. If for some reason this one is unavailable at the time of this recording, then you can grab the DC pack if you don't care about the green shading and the Havoc staff. The Havoc staff is a big selling point, though.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about this guy enough, right? Alright, well, we'll sign off on this one. We'll see you guys again with Marlena. We'll get her up, hopefully we'll crank her out this weekend. We're going to get our shipment tomorrow, so we're going to immediately open it up, and then we'll do Marlena. We'll probably just do it all as one thing, the different outfits and Cringer and all that together. Although, you know what, we probably should treat Cringer as a separate piece.
Yeah.
We'll do Cringer as a separate video, because he'll have a different spotlight on the page anyway.
Good journey.
Oh, you're ready to get out of here. Alright, so good journey, and we'll see you guys soon.
Bye.